Hello everyone and welcome back to Bobby's World of Tech. You may notice a slight change in my office since last time. Don't worry, it's not an illusion. Or is it? In bringing the summer to a close, I thought I would take my office and completely do a cleaning. My wife went away for a few days to visit some family, and I thought the perfect opportunity to just put all my stuff throughout the whole house and clean everything and shampoo the carpet and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So I kind of got that done last week while she was gone, and it is awesome. It feels really good to be in a clean office, let me tell you. And we have a cat, so, I think I pulled about 3 cats worth of hair out of the vacuum. It's kind of gross when you think about it. But as I decided to clean the office pretty thoroughly, and it feels a lot cleaner, better to work in, and I also decided to do a little painting so it looks a little bit sharper and a little bit cleaner and kind of like a new page turning, It's kind of nice. But enough talk about the office. The reason why I'm making this video today is because a friend a couple days ago gave me his computer, which I had known about for quite some time, but it was just working out the right time when he could be without his computer and give it to me so I could do some testing and look at it and figure out what the problem is. But the computer is in a desperate need of a cleaning, number one, and then number two, it's having an issue and it crashes either playing a game or doing some other intense work on the computer. So we got to figure out if it's a hardware issue, a driver issue, or something else. I guess software related is really the only other thing, but if it's a hardware issue, what is the hardware that's actually failing? So it could take some time to do tests like this, and I can understand how a lot of people may not want to take the time to do this kind of thing. For someone like myself who finds it fun, people look at you kind of funny and think, why would you do that? But I enjoy it, and so hopefully I can figure out the problem and then fix the problem, of course, and then give him back his computer so he can go on having fun with it and doing whatever he needs to do. In cleaning the computer, it's surprising, a lot of people don't really think much about cleaning the computer, and really dust is quite a major problem for a lot of computers that are facing either heat or other issues. Cleaning it can really prevent a lot of things from happening, and so it's good to get computers with dust filters, which he does have, and we'll take a look at that in just a minute. But just not doing anything with it over a couple years now. I think I built it for him a couple years now ago, so it needs it pretty bad. So we're going to thoroughly clean, probably once I figure out the issue, take it completely dismantled, completely apart, and clean everything, and then reconstruct it all back together. And hopefully when he gets it back, it'll look pretty much like the day he got it. Brand new. Or to look brand new. Either way, he should be a happy customer. So let's take a look at the computer, and then I'm not actually going to film probably everything I'm going to do because it's going to be really long, but I will kind of come in parts and kind of explain a few things that are going on and stuff like that. That way you guys get a general idea of what I'm doing. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the computer and we'll see what we're dealing with. Alright, this is the computer. This is the Corsair Carbide 540 Air case. This is a pretty sweet case. It's the only one I've built in before, but the cube-like shape is kind of unique, and it's really neat the way they do the 2 compartments. So you have the one compartment over here, and then the back compartment for the optical drive and actually some other storage hard drive options. And you've also got the power supply that shows up on that side as well, and it kind of keeps it really neat and really wide place to put your cables and stuff. And then in the front, all you have is your motherboard, and then you can put a couple hard drives down at the bottom. But it's really a clean looking computer, and I really like it a lot. I built this again. I think about, I guess it's been about almost 2 years coming up, about a year and a half, and it's really good PC. This is an Intel Core i5 4670K, and I think I clocked it at 4.2 gigahertz, and perfect for everything he needed and still needs, really. Has a GTX 770, I think SC edition from EVGA, and has a 120 gigabyte SSD with a 1 terabyte black hard drive for storage with a DVD burner, and I think a 650 watt power supply from EVGA. And I think actually this one has a Corsair cooler that they don't make anymore, I don't believe. This is the A70, so it's a pretty big, massive air cooler. I'd say it'd probably be maybe 20% better cooling than maybe the Hyper 212 Plus. So it can do a decent job cooling a overclocked CPU. But I just want to open this up. You can see already, like on the top, there's, you know, where the white used to be white, now it's a little bit beige, and you got some other marks and stuff. We're gonna clean all that up. One thing I noticed right away, though, you're supposed to be able to see through the computer there and see the fans. I see nothing. So what we'll do first is I'll show you. We'll take off the now this case also has a lot of good filters and things that we don't want to lose those. We'll put those down over here. You really should get some kind of a magnetic cup that's really good for holding all your screws. There's also like these magnetic mats that are really cool. You can put, like, you know, right on them where the screws go, in case you're not very good at remembering that kind of stuff. The door comes off really easy, so this whole side panel window, it's got some flex to it, but as long as you're careful, it should be fine in terms of making sure you don't scratch it and such. But yeah, this should be a lot less dust in here than that. And there is quite a bit. So we need to figure out, maybe cleaning this thing out is going to be a fun job. And then what we'll do is we'll undo a couple screws here for the top ventilation. They're the same size screw really, so it doesn't matter. Kind of pull back on it and lift it up, and we can see, oh yeah, that's pretty dirty. There's not really a filter for the top, but the top's blowing out the air, so really if the air in there is clean, it should be blowing out cold, but yeah, that's pretty dirty. So that'll need to be cleaned. And then to get this one up, we'll pull on this here. Just takes a little bit of force, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there you go. Oh, well, no wonder we cannot see through it. Man, you could plant tomatoes in their places. This is held on by a magnet, so I imagine, oh, I don't want to make this too hard. Spread dust all over my clean office. Oh, yep, there goes some dust. Looks like vacuuming. Oh my goodness. Can't even see through that. Well, that's pretty bad. Yeah, so we may clean the fans, or we may replace the fans. I think also this is not using positive air pressure, so you got negative airflow going on here. You got 3 outtakes and you got 2 intakes, so we may deal with that as well. I don't want to really push that too much, but you can see pretty clean. But the color scheme's kind of cool, although the heatsink and fan kind of covers it all up. And it's a Z87 socket, so this was before the Z97, but still does a pretty good job. And we'll take off the back here, and I'll show you back there. It looks like there's some stuff there. Oh yes, oh my. So, yep, quite a bit of dust in here. Looks like I might actually take this outside. I wish there was a light I could turn on here for you guys. I might have to dust this out, but you got several compartments here for your SSD drives. Pretty cool. Oh, it looks like there's a regular laptop hard drive in there too. That's kind of cool. And then there's a 650 watt power supply. That is a lot dirtier than it should be. So overall, maybe cleaning it out will probably do a lot for it anyways. But we'll find out what the problem is and why it's basically freezing on them. And I'm guessing video card, but you never know. You know, all that kind of stuff. So, alright, I better get to work on this thing so I can get it done and get it back to them. And hopefully, if there's anything I can find that's helpful, I will show you guys. But pretty much, let's get to work. Alright, I apologize if my air conditioner is causing extra noise on my microphone, but it was getting pretty warm in here and I had to cool it off. It may not look like I've done a whole lot, but what I have done is I went ahead and just did a minor cleanup, nothing intense right now, in the front ventilation. So now you can actually quite clearly see the light on the inside there. I basically vacuumed off the front intake screen there, air filter. It was quite bad. And I did clean up a little bit off the top and just kind of gave it an overall like quick vacuum, just light dust that could easily be sucked in. And after that was done, I kind of took a Swiffer, and which you got to be careful with because it does cause a lot of static. I just went over the outside of it, and kind of just got all the general dust off. So with that being done, that way it doesn't spread a whole bunch of dust in my room, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. One of the issues he said he was having was he'd press the power button and it would do basically nothing, and he'd have to basically turn it off and then do it again or restart it. So that's kind of annoying, but it would just be always the same results. So I'm not sure exactly what that could be. Maybe perhaps something shorting the board, but it would probably more than likely not be a consistent thing if it was just a short. But whatever the case may be, I'm going to go ahead and press the power button right now, actually. And all the lights are coming on. Looks like they flashed once. The computer beeped. I do have an on-screen logo. Everything is booting up, running. And I got a post and a boot up, so I'm not quite sure what that issue could have been. It could be something as simple as turning off the power supply and turning it back on, resetting the whole thing, maybe perhaps somehow, some way. Maybe the dust, I doubt it, but cleaning off some of that stuff. But anyways, I'm going to proceed to probably reboot it a few times to make sure if that issue is not actually still occurring. But what I'm going to do now is run it through some stress tests before I actually take it all apart and running tests with an open test bench or, outside of the case. I want to try and recreate it in the environment that he has it to see if I can find the issue. So it may be a slower process. But I'm going to go ahead and boot it up. I'm going to run some stress tests and maybe a few games and something else just to try and see what in the world is going on, why it's freezing and such. So, like I said, I think it's a video card, but it could be a number of things. So, let's find out.